Are you ready to have your mind blown? Have you ever had an old piece of furniture that was missing some trim or missing some pieces around the base or something? And you're like, I should just throw this away. I'm going to show you how to rebuild it. So, we're going to start off with my ruler. I'm going to show you how I rebuild this trim. We're going to use some Bondo. I measure out how much I need and I go to a side that is not missing trim. I use olive oil first and then I use my glue gun. This will prevent the glue from sticking to the wood. Then once the glue gun has dried, I do add a little bit as I am going back and forth just to make sure there are no holes. And then I peel that glue off and I have a little mold, a little trim mold. And then I have my little mold for this little round corbel piece and I test the fitting. It fits great. So I'm doing two different pieces at the same time so you can see two different styles. I use nails to make sure that the Bondo has something to grip onto. Then I mix my Bondo and I also add a little bit of olive oil to my mold to make sure the Bondo doesn't stick to the mold. I attach my mold. Bondo dries super, super fast. So it only takes like not even 2 minutes, like I would say like 45 seconds and it's dry and I can peel that mold off, but I'll show you in just one sec. We're going to add the olive oil to this front trim piece as well. I fill the Bondo as best I can. In this mold, I attach it with tape just to make sure. This one's a little bit longer. This is the hardest mold I've ever done. It's not perfect, but we're going to get it a little bit closer to perfect. But this piece does come on absolutely perfect. I use some sanding and I do use a little bit of glazing spot. There was a tiny piece that was missing. I go back and forth with my sanders. And then once we paint it, look, you can't even tell it was missing a piece. Oh my goodness. Okay, so back to the front trim. I added some glazing Bondo on this edge. It was missing a little piece. I used my mold with, again, some olive oil, squish it down. It's still wet, so I wait till it dries. I use my 5-in-1 tool to kind of carve it out. Same with this edge. You're like, it looks a little janky. Just wait, just wait. Once it dries, I sand it and I carve it out a little bit more. I do the same with the other side. And then, once you add paint, you're like, it looks like crap. Okay, but hear me out. Once you add paint, check it out. Not too shabby, eh? You can't even tell. You can't even tell. So, follow along to see the full reveal. We're almost done. Yay!